Right, for more perspective on the resignation of Petraeus and the implication of General Allen in the scandal, let's now talk to someone who's very familiar with how the intelligence communities function. Joining me now here on RT, former MI5 intelligence officer Annie Mashon. A pleasure to see you today. Let's get right to it. And now that General John Allen's been dragged into this whole mess of making it basically 3 US Afghan commanders falling to petty scandals in as many years, what do you make of it?
Well, it's beginning to look like a very well-written drama, really. It's almost a sense that now Obama has been elected for his final and second term, they can use the broom to sweep clean the old regime of senior generals who sort of move through revolving doors between military positions and intelligence positions, who might take certain strategic positions on issues in the Middle East. One of the points that doesn't seem to get much coverage about Petraeus at the moment is the fact that he has been very much an Iranian hawk, really pushing for the idea that there should be some sort of military action against Iran. And when he was in place in Iraq and Afghanistan, kept sort of reporting on ideas that Iran was funding insurgency in Iraq and Afghanistan and causing problems. So I am wondering if the timing, which of course his outing his resignation, exactly as soon as Obama is re-elected, might be a sense that something was held back and he could be pushed because he no longer fitted with what is going to be the American position on Iran. Well,
you certainly raise an interesting point. I mean, certainly many heads are now bobbing up and down saying, well, what is going on with the timing of it all? Washington isn't wasting any time reminding us that it knew absolutely nothing about this. As a former intelligence officer, how likely is it that no one really knew about the investigation?
Well, I'm sure plausible deniability will have been built into the whole system. But actually, I think it is quite likely that senior politicians might not have known what was going on in the background of intelligence agencies. I mean, that's certainly something that goes on in the UK intelligence community, where politicians like to say they know exactly what's going on and there's proper accountability. But in fact, very often they can be lied to very effectively by these spy agencies. And in fact, former top spies have gone on record to say that they are ashamed that they weren't more open with the Oversight Committee in Parliament. And one of the possibilities around the Petraeus and the Allen outings might be that there's some sort of power play going on behind the scenes, particularly within the CIA, because Petraeus, of course, came in to head up the CIA as a military outsider. So he comes from a very different culture and was probably very unpopular within the CIA, particularly if he's pushing for action against Iran, when the CIA for the last 9 years has been saying that actually there is no intelligence whatsoever to indicate that Iran is in the process of developing a nuclear weapon. So there may well have been some sort of manoeuvring behind the scenes by other senior intelligence officers to try and get rid of someone that they would see as an outsider who is peddling a line which they don't agree with and which undermines their professional status and abilities.
Well, it's certainly a conversation that requires much more time than we have available for us here on RT today. Annie Mashon, a former MI5 intelligence officer, a great pleasure to have you on the programme. Thank you.
Thank you.